The most popular headlamp amongst hikers and especially ultralight hikers is the Nitecore Nu25. But is it as good as its reputation? How practical is it to use? And how does it perform out on the trail in the dark? Well, this and much more is what we're here to find out during this episode about the truth of the Nu25. Hi and welcome to a new episode on this channel, and today's focus is all about the Nitecore Nu25 headlamp. I will go through the specs, the features and how it performs out in the dark, and in the end also give you my verdict and the truth about the Nu25. But before we start, let's talk about the first thing that comes to mind when you buy it: the looks. To me it looks a little bit like an old camera, right? Well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. To some people it might be appealing, but to others maybe not so much. If we look at the actual headlamp, the casing looks and feels a bit plasticky, but also rigid and strong. The weak point on this headlamp, I would say, is the holder, where you adjust the angle and attach the headband. Sure, it feels snappy. I don't know if you can hear. So it is easy to find a good angle and it will probably stay there while using it, but it is a very thin piece of plastic. So my guess is if anything is going to break on this headlamp, it's going to be this part right here. The IP66 rating means it is dust and waterproof, and it is rechargeable using a micro USB cable, which is included in the package. The battery is a 610 milliamp lithium-ion polymer battery, if you know what that is. More important maybe, it is impact resistance up to 1 meter. The weight out of the box is 55 grams, but with an easy-peasy DIY modification like this headband that you see here, the weight is reduced down to 35 grams. There is no real reason to use a standard headband unless you're using it for running. The standard headband is rubberized to keep it in place for that kind of activities, but for hiking I do recommend you making your own DIY headband to keep the weight down. One thing to notice, and what differs from many of the competitors, is the features. It is loaded with features. One might think that it's not necessary and an overkill maybe, but I will just quickly run through all the features for you to judge for yourself. The white light has 3 main features, easily accessible with the main button, marked with an on symbol. The main button toggles between low, mid and high and off, where the low is 1 lumen, the mid is 38 lumens and the high is 190 lumens. Then, well, off is off. To access the turbo mode at 360 lumens, just press and hold the main button when the light is turned on. The turbo mode turns off after just 30 seconds, otherwise the Nu25 will overheat. So the turbo mode is more like a mode for certain situations when you need a little bit of extra light, rather than used for hiking. The Nu25 has also a red light, perfect for keeping your night vision intact and to spend time in camp, and to not blind others with a strong white light. That is not nice. The red light button marked with an R toggles between low, mid and caution and then off, where the low is 0.9 lumens, the mid is 13 lumens and caution is a 13 lumen blinking light, and then off is 0 lumens. These will be the settings that you normally use and that are easy accessible on top on the 2 buttons there, so we can focus on them for a while and then come back to the special features a little bit later on. Now let's see how it performs outside in the dark. Now back outside and it is completely dark, so a perfect time to show you all the settings and how the Nu25 performs out on the trail like in a real situation. So I will go through the low, the mid and the high, and in the end also show you the turbo mode. Low is a weak light and barely visible in the camera, but I can see, I don't know, 1 or 2 meters maybe, more of a light you might find useful inside your tent. Mid gives you a good visibility and you can see like 20 meters perhaps, and with a pretty good angle. This is perfect for moving around and for slow pace walking. High is bright and gives you like maybe 50-60 meters of light. A really good light and what you need if you're doing more serious hiking. Turbo mode Wow, now this is bright. I can see very far and the trees clearly, but the burn time only 30 seconds or it will overheat. So only to use in specific situations when needed. The red light is perfect to use inside camp when you're spending some time together with friends and you want to keep that night vision intact. And this is what it looks like. The low is only visible in the camera on close objects like 1 or 2 meters away, like this tree. But in real life, I can clearly see like 1 or 2 meters in front of me, perfect for go and pee in the middle of the nightlight, perhaps, or inside the tent. The mid gives you much more light and to be able to safely move around camp. Much better than the low setting and much more usable. Now, this light I like. The caution red is just the mid-light blinking and usable maybe for emergencies or something. I don't know. The special features are the ones not used in normal situations, but that might come in handy on occasion. If you press and hold the main button, it turns on the auxiliary 20 lumen white light with a high CRI. And to turn off, just press and hold the red light button. Now this is a whiter light with a little bit bigger angle but a short length. So it is probably perfect for reading or moving around camp or just to light up your tent. If you press and hold main for 3 seconds, you enter the SOS beacon. It's a 360 lumens white light blinking like an SOS signal. And if you press the main again within 3 seconds, you enter the beacon mode, which is more of a strobing light, like a disco light. To lock the device for transport, to not accidentally turn it on in your backpack, press both buttons to enter lock mode. Red indicator with blink once for your notice. To unlock, well, just do it again. One important feature is the possibility to use a power bank together with the Nu25. That means if you plug it into a power bank, you will still be able to access all the functions or the light modes on the headlamp. So that is really good to know if you're hiking like extended periods of time in the dark, when you run out of battery in the middle of nowhere, just to plug it into a power bank and just keep on moving. The more I use it, the more I like it, and I really find the choice of 2 buttons a better choice and easier to use compared to, for example, a Petzl Bindi or many others that uses only 1. The 2 buttons give you easy access to the necessary features, but it also has a lot of extra features if you need them. Some of them, well, I might find a bit unnecessary perhaps, but what do I know? Some of you might love them. So, what about the truth about the Nitecore Nu25? Well, I believe it's a great, small, lightweight yet competent headlamp, and together with a modified headband and at 35 grams, I believe it to be perfect for ultralight hiking and on adventures where such a light source is necessary. So, my verdict is, it's a great choice. If you liked today's episode, take a look at these 2 recommendations on my other videos. And do hit like, subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Hope also to see you again next week. Bye bye for now.